Broadly speaking, law in the Western world can be divided into two spheres: Roman law, also known as civil law, and Germanic law, more commonly referred to as common law. These two different schools form the basis of government and politics within the Western world. There are many variations on these two forms, and some nations practice both. But in a broad generalization, there are three different things that we can compare them on: source, form, and expectations. The source is where the law comes from, and in Roman law, that comes from the top down. And this means different things depending on where it is practiced. In ancient and medieval times, this meant that the law came from the king, emperor, or pontiff, usually on the behalf of God. In modern times, this may mean that the law comes from the central government. In a Germanic system, laws come from the bottom up. The rules that governments operate by are based on tradition and precedent. The customs and practices of local communities have more authority than the rulings of a central government. So what about the form? Roman law places an emphasis on being written. The Romans had a practice of writing laws down and displaying them publicly. This way there is no excuse for breaking the law out of ignorance. This system of law relies on legalism and encourages intricate readings of law in order to find loopholes. Germanic law, on the other hand, is not traditionally written down. With the law being based on traditions and customs, there is an expectation that if you are living in the community, you should already know them. If someone violates the spirit of the law, but not the exact wording of it, that person can still be held accountable for its violation. It also grants more authority to judges to make decisions based on extenuating circumstances that Roman law doesn't. It looks at the reason for violations of law and may pardon someone if they violated the wording of the law but not the spirit. Lastly, there are the expectations of law. Is anybody expecting you or the government to actually obey them? Roman law is very precise in what it means, but despite this exactness, the expectations are much lower. Since laws come from the top down, they form more of a moral code than a legal one. When a king or pontiff creates a law, it's not really intended to be a stringently enforced rule, but rather a statement of moral goals. When the sovereign places a ban on prostitution, they aren't expecting men to stop visiting prostitutes, or the women who are already providing said service to stop doing so, but rather to create a public stigma against it. On the other hand, expectations are much higher with Germanic law. Since laws come from the bottom up, you have your entire community who will hold you accountable for upholding it, both word and spirit. If your community has a law against prostitution, your neighbors are always around to keep an eye on you, and they will know if you violate the customs of the community. This is in contrast to Roman law, where the creators of the law will likely never meet the people who are subject to it. In Germanic law, you are likely surrounded by the people who made the law, therefore individual expectations are much higher. So there you have it. Roman law, which is very precise in its creation but non-resolute in its enforcement, and Germanic law, which is non-precise in its creation but resolute in its enforcement. If you would like to see more content, then you can go ahead and check out the videos I've curated over here. If you would like to know when my new videos come out, then you should click the subscribe button. You can also click that little bell icon next to the subscribe button to have notifications sent to you whenever I upload a video. Also, leave your thoughts in the comments below and tell me what you think I can do to improve the quality of my videos. Thanks for watching.